As we embark on this journey into the mystical town of Whimseybrook, set in America in the 1920s, it is essential to acknowledge the historical context of that era. The 1920s in America were marked by significant social and cultural shifts, including the prevalence of many forms of bigotry and discrimination of traditionally marginalized groups such as racism, sexism, homophobia, and ableism, just to name a few. However, for the purpose of this campaign, I want to make it clear that these topics will not be directly addressed in our game. While I understand the importance of acknowledging historical realities, I recognize the complexity and sensitivity surrounding these subjects. My decision to admit explicit discussions of these kinds of discrimination is not meant to trivialize or ignore the profound impact it has had on our society and systems. Rather, it is an acknowledgement of our commitment to creating a gaming space that is respectful, enjoyable, and sensitive to the diversity of our players and listeners. Please understand that my intention is not to diminish the significance of these historical struggles or the hard-fought progress by marginalized groups that continues today, but rather to focus on the supernatural mysteries and cosmic horror elements that define the campaign setting. If you have any concerns or suggestions regarding this decision, please feel free to discuss them openly in our Discord. My priority is to ensure that everyone can engage in the story comfortably, and recognizing that each player's background and experiences may shape their preferences in tabletop role-playing. Additionally, this is a horror campaign, the elements of which may be triggering or uncomfortable for some listeners. At our table, we have discussed our limit and conditions of consent, and a list of warnings will be provided in the show notes of each episode. Thank you for your understanding and collaboration as we embark on this adventure together.
Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host, Ian Duncan, and my pronouns are too eldritch to utter, for they will destroy even the most strongest mind. Typically, I am your game master, but not today. Today, I am playing Yashar Engel in our campaign of Call of Cthulhu, and here to play along with me, here to revel in this madness, please welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello! I feel like I should do a spooky voice too. I am Jamie, she, her, and I will be playing Mabel McIntyre, also she, her, the parapsychologist.
Ooh, Jamie, do you have like a favorite Cthulhu story or like mythos adjacent kind of thing?
You know, I will admit here and now, I am not too familiar with Cthulhian stories. I know the general concepts, but I couldn't give you any direct references.
Give us the Reader's Digest.
The horrors.
There we go. Oh, perfect. And one of those horrors is Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes.
Hello, Xavier. He, him. I'm excited. I will be playing Aline Lévesque, the photographer, she, her, from Montreal.
We love it. Is the Cthulhu mythos any different in Canada than it is in...
It's much more polite. Yeah. The horrors are describable.
Even the horrors are fainting just to help everyone out. Coming back from a faint herself, please welcome Karen Huesman.
Hello, I am Karen, she, her, and I have returned to the podcast.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I will be playing Melody Thompson, who is a witchy medium, she, her also. Very excited.
Now, Karen, yes, as you've said, you've been on Respect the Crit on one of our one shots for our Star Wars before, so we're very happy to have you back with the crew.
I'll say I know exactly as much about Cthulhu as I do about Star Wars, which is moderate.
Moderate. Well, but as a fellow lover of the monstrous form, Karen, it was a shared appreciation between us. Do you have is there a favorite Cthulhu monster who you would just find so very smoochable?
I think I should plead the fifth on that one. Based on how it was presented. I don't want to give anyone any ideas.
Lawyering up. All right, Karen, lawyering up. Got it.
Tentacles are cool, though. That's all I'm saying.
And that's all need be said. That's all need be said. Speaking of needing to be said, we are so happy to have him. Please welcome, new to the show and friend to all of us, please welcome Zach Clark.
What's up, everyone? Oh, it's so great to be here. My name is Zach, he, him. I'll be playing Razz McClay, he, him today. He is a criminal gun mole, class or like profession, usually played by, a doting girlfriend. So this is a role reversal that's going to be great and fun. I cannot wait.
Yes, a gender swap. We love it. We yes. Love it.
Those are very popular, like in anime and things like that.
Zach, what's your sort of like, how many toes do you have dipped into the Cthulhu mythos? Do you have any like favorites or anything that just kind of like sparks your interest about any of the Lovecraftian stuff?
So when it comes to the Lovecraftian stuff, like this is going to be my first pinky dipped into like actually playing anything. This is my virginity. You guys are christening me for sure. And I've always been teased by it, right? Because everyone starts with like, man, a beholder looks scary and cool, but then you want to go to his cousins, those weird cousins in those way far realms. So this is just like a taste of that, into where this is the nugget of that goes way deep into that. And I really want to see, because when I think about Cthulhu, right, it's like you kind of work your way up to meeting that first monster instead of running into like 10 goblins and seeing something interesting, so it's such a different system. I cannot wait to see how it goes.
Differently paced, a different style of approach to it. And we're right along with you, because I think, with the exception of Susan, I think all of us here have not played Call of Cthulhu before. This is a system that we're all new to. So apologies for butchering it.
All bets are off. I just promise I won't get too silly. That's all I can promise.
And of course, our keeper of this arcane lore, our weaver of this tale of madness, please welcome Susan Spenader.
I'm Susan. You can call me she, her, and I will be the keeper of arcane knowledge. I hold all the mysteries of the universe, its dark, deep secrets, the untold stories and told alike. I am the one that holds them within my grasp, and don't worry, I'll only unleash a touch of that madness upon you.
Oh, cannot wait. You are the singularity you will all be sucked towards.
Yeah, well, we'll see. My favorite is the lurking fear.
Okay, the lurking fear. And is that a tale, or is that an entity, or both?
Tale.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. Love it. Nice. Well, yeah, as I've said before, Susan, this is your first time DMing or GMing for Respect the Crit, but certainly not your first time GMing, and certainly not your first time GMing a Call of Cthulhu campaign. This is something that you have done before, right?
Yes, it is. I ran a campaign for my husband and a few friends. My husband does not like tabletop RPGs, but he loves horror. So he was down to play this, so I was really excited to run it for him, and I love it. I love you were saying earlier, the tone is so different. It's just like a slow chipping away until like you're either exposed to raw or mad, and I love it.
Is that what has brought you into the Cthulhu mythos? What's been sort of your like history with Cthulhu and Lovecraftian stories?
I've always been a big fan of the horror genre, but I didn't really realize it, which is funny because I didn't like horror movies per se. But I love like one of the books I read way too young that I shouldn't have, Silence of the Lambs, and then I read Red Dragon, and then I read Hannibal, and then I just started eating up Stephen King, and then
oh yeah, Stephen King, very influenced by H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes.
Sure.
What
and
age
then it
were you
was
reading these books? I'm sorry.
I think I read Silence of the Lambs when I was 11.
Oh.
So not exactly the age where you're like, Mommy, what does the dead feel like? But like, you know.
I feel like when you read books, though, like when you're a reader, you've always read something when you were too young to read it.
Yes.
Susan just filling out those like Pizza Hut book it pins with all kinds of
Grim Fairy
fiction.
Tales. I read Grim Fairy Tales way too young because we had this really nice like leather bound set in our house, and I read the real Grimm's fairy tale, not the watered down version, real young.
I am on my bunny slopes reading Goosebumps about the shit.
Well, very cool. We are so excited to have you be running this game. We are so excited to fall into various states of madness, and yeah, I cannot wait. I've been wanting to play in the system for as long as I've been interested in tabletop role-playing games. So is there anything that we should know about the system or about the setting that you would want to sort of like prelude us with, or listeners with? Or
for listeners who are unfamiliar with this game, it is it's mostly based upon percentile dice, so 2d10s, and instead of in D&D you're rolling over, you're actually trying to roll under a skill level. That's typically what you're trying to do, is roll under. So that's what a lot of the rolls will be. One big mechanic of the game is madness, as we've been talking about. The more you encounter the dark horrors or the dark mysteries of the universe, you slowly go mad. Death is a narrative, is a piece of narrative in this game, but madness is the true, like, that's how you lose, going mad. That's the basis of Call of Cthulhu. And then the setting, it starts March 19th, 1927 in New England. I've actually determined that it's going to be taking place in the made-up town of Whimseybrook, Vermont. It takes place in the Green Mountains. So it's a late winter setting, the rest you'll see in game.
Thank you. I'm so excited to get into these 1920s Whimseybrook, Vermont. Love it. Well, then, without any further ado, I say we jump on in. Susan, please take us into these strange aeons.
Our story begins with an aerial shot of a train ambling along in Vermont's late winter countryside. The landscape below is a patchwork of dead trees, their bare branches reaching upward, interspersed with evergreens holding onto their green needles. Snow dusts the ground, lingering in patches beneath the shadows of the trees. While the last snowfall was some time ago, this leaves behind a serene winter scene. As the camera zooms in on the train, we see it chugging along, the billowing smokestack trailing behind it, punctuating the crisp air with the scent of coal and steam. The chill in the air is palpable. Beyond the flatlands, the foothills and mountains of the Green Mountains rise majestically in the distance, their peaks dusted with snow, a harbinger of possible colder days to come. Amidst the wintry landscape, the train moves steadily forward, carrying its passengers closer to their destination of Whimseybrook. Anticipation is buzzing in the air like a distant hum of the locomotive's engine. And amongst the hustle and bustle of the train, our 5 investigators sit, each with their own thoughts and apprehensions about the journey ahead. Jamie, can you describe what your character is doing? And give us a description of your character.
Sure. Mabel is probably sitting with a pen in her mouth, a notebook on whatever pull-down desk is on this train or table. And she's sitting there looking out the window, her short, black bobbed hair underneath her felted beret, and is looking very stylish, very in season, sporting sort of a black ensemble with a string of pearls. She's giving off very flapper vibes, and she has this bright red lipstick on that is sort of like caking her pen that she is chewing on. And I think she's just taking in the scene. She's coming up from Boston where she goes to school, so winter isn't new to her, but Vermont is a very beautiful place in contrast to the cities of Boston.
I will say in front of Mabel, there would probably be the letter she received. There's a official-looking letter in front of her, and then underneath those, you could see peeking out possible case files. And then sitting next to her is probably Zach. If you could describe your character.
Absolutely. Razz McCloud is a remarkably average-looking man. Average build, not too skinny, not too fat. Average height. He has darker skin and a very almost attentive facial complexion about him. A bit of a grizzled face, perpetual 5 o'clock shadow that just won't go away. Furrowed eyebrows, and he's kind of leaning back. He has a combination of not like a zoot suit, but like a very mobile suit where you can like kind of roll up the sleeves and you have like a tie and things like that, and he has a fedora, and he has a cigar box, and he has a cigar in his mouth, and he's kind of leaning back, and he's looking at the files in kind of a dismissive, dispassionate kind of way.
And this train is packed. There's hustle and bustle, like I said before. There's kids running up and down the aisle. There's passengers, just a general anticipation in the air. But across from you, as the seats face each other in this section, across from Razz is Yasher.
Yasher is a spindly-looking man, very nebbishy, which is basically like you would have pity. If you would look on this man, you would just feel pity. Like, oh boy, he needs some help. He has dark circles under his eyes, bags under his eyes. If you looked at him and asked his age, you would be kind of shocked to learn that he's probably younger than you would think, because he just doesn't look great for his age. Even though he's got a bit of a disheveled hair and a bit of an untrimmed beard, he is wearing like a pretty nice suit, something that isn't necessarily fashionable, but is well maintained, at least because he's traveling. He has a cloth bag, a heavy cloth bag that he's got over his shoulder, and he is looking exceptionally anxious because the train is packed and there's just a lot of people here, and he's just not used to like being sardined in with so many human beings all at once. It just kind of like makes him feel very very anxious, and his heart is on his sleeve. It's very easy to tell that he is uneasy, and he's sort of like clutching his bag and trying to make himself as small as possible.
And then in the seat next to Yasher is actually equipment. It's a large bag, but you could see a tripod sticking out. There is, it's just in this packed train, despite that, someone has used one of the seats just to make sure their equipment is safe.
Oh, thank God. That means I'm not sitting next to a person.
That's probably why Yasher chose this seat.
Yes.
And then next, on the other side of the equipment, near the window seat, is Xavier's character.
Aline Lévesque, her full name. She is a very modest-looking woman. Still youthful, late 20s. She's got very just like bare bones makeup on, but she's just head leaning on the window of this train, looking outside, trying to take a look at the landscape. But being a photographer professionally, she is used to still landscape. She's used to stillness and trying to get a good feeling of the area is extremely difficult for her right now. It's so blurry, it's moving so fast, and she needs to get her mind off of something, and she looks elsewhere inside the train. And if the landscape won't do, maybe some of these people will do. Maybe I can, distract myself looking at their stories. Maybe I can try to figure out what their stories are. So Aline just looks around in the train now. A very, very neutral expression. Hard to read for the moment. But she will sort of like slowly and almost like lazily move her eyes from outside to inside and look at the people. Probably, I guess, I'm assuming Aline is in the same booth as Razz and Yasher.
Yes, and Mabel. And across from you is Melody in the other window seat. So there's 2 rows of 3 and they're facing each other.
Good. Well, that's a good segue. And my eyes go right to Melody. And I try to figure out what Melody's deal is. Deal? Deal.
So we're kind of in like a booth type of train thing.
Like a train car?
The train car. So it's 6 seats so 3 of them face each other. That's how it's back to back all the way down the train car.
People were more braced with awkwardness in the 1920s. That would not fly today.
But then you look over and you see Melody in front of you.
And Melody is in her mid-20s, so she's still pretty young. She is from New England, so she is very, traditionally very pale. She's, really dark hair, so she kind of looks a little like a ghost because of it, She doesn't tan, she burns. And I don't know if you've ever seen them, but, the suit, the skirt suits that they used to wear in that time. That's kind of what she's wearing. It's just this almost oversized. It almost looks like you're wearing your dad's suit jacket. It's just a little bit ill-fitting, like a navy blue suit. Just that's her one travel outfit. So she's trying to not draw attention. And she is fiddling in her lap with supplies on making little bracelet trinkets and stuff, just something to keep her hands busy while we're in this kind of hectic environment and traveling, because we're kind of heading closer to where she grew up.
Ooh, some baggage. Maybe some baggage.
Just hitting a
home for
bit.
the holidays.
So now you've all established. I'll leave the scene for you until we arrive. Aline just looked at Melody. Does Aline say anything, or does Melody notice she's being stared at?
It would probably be an awkward stare. When you're in public transportation and you catch someone staring at you and you're like, well, maybe it was just a coincidence, but then you keep looking back and they're always looking first. That's it. She's not engaging.
Okay, if you kept staring at her, Melody would flick her eyes over to you, but then flick her eyes up over behind you and then back to what she's doing in her hands. Almost like she was looking at somebody behind you, but there's nobody there.
Yeah, at some point, Aline would probably look over her shoulder. What the hell? Is there a sign? No staring? But Aline would make no effort to make this less awkward or to engage in conversation with anyone on board. Aline wishes the ride was over, to be honest.
So if there's like an awkward pause or an awkward silence, Razz
I think the whole ride is an awkward pause.
This is a 4.5-hour train ride.
Razz is just gonna like casually lean over to Yasher and say, "Hey, buddy, it'd probably help you if you relax. Might do you some good."
He clenches up even more, and he's just like, I'm sorry. I don't travel well.
Speak up, buddy.
I'm sorry. I don't travel well. I don't get out very often with so many people, you know.
No,
Is that better? Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm right next to you.
Okay. Oh, so this is softer. Just a little softer.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Yasher Engel, a pleasure to meet you. And he puts out his hand, moving his shoulder as little amount as he possibly can in the cramped space that we're in.
Razz will kind of like look down and give it like a furrowed eyebrow, and stick out his hand more earnestly, just really trying to complete the handshake. And I'll say, Razz McClay.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Razz. It's also the limpest handshake that you've ever gotten in your life.
It hurts you a little bit because it's grippy.
Yeah.
It's nice and grippy.
Very strong. Very strong.
It's good to meet you.
Likewise. Where are you? I'm assuming you're headed to. Where are you going, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, you know me. In these times, I'm a working man. You ever heard of the McIntyres?
I just a point of clarification. I don't know you actually, and I don't know the McIntyres.
As this conversation goes, maybe one of you two may notice that Aline just took out, without moving her body, just her hands went to a pocket, took out a little notebook, and she's just taking down notes, listening to the conversation.
Is she listening?
He's listening in. Now she's looking at the both of you.
I mean, we could do the first roll of the game if we want.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's please. Yes, please.
I was thinking maybe a psychology or a spot hidden. Because a psychology in this game is more like a intuition, like a reading people, and spot hidden is spotting something hidden. So,
gotcha. Who do you want the roll from?
Yasher and Razz, please.
Okay, sick. I'll do a spot hidden. I'll see if I can notice.
I mean, Melody and Mabel could throw some in there as well. I mean, if they're paying attention to the conversation.
Mabel is only going to start paying attention as soon as she hears her own name.
Yeah, and you are right next to Razz as well.
McIntyre? Did you say McIntyre?
49. That is terrible. Total failure.
Melody does not notice either. But Razz, you clock it. The checks, the way they work is there's a halves and fifths as well. So half, if you get a half of your total, that's a hard check, and then if you get a fifth of your total, that's a extreme check. So you really went above and beyond and saw. Maybe as soon as she took out the notepad and pen.
Razz, his eyes are going to widen. He'll say, "Hey, little lady, what you doing there? You writing what I'm saying?"
Oh, yes. Hello, my name is Aline from Montreal. I'm just here.
From where?
Montreal.
Ooh.
Yes, in Canada. I take pictures for the Gazette over there, and I just need to write something interesting when I return, because I'm on a work vacation. I'm not a journalist, but I need to justify me being here, so I'm taking some notes for the interesting things I see and the interesting people I meet. My name is Aline, by the way. Aline Lévesque, and she offers her hand.
That sure is some fancy gear you got there.
Yes, it's quite new too, so I would appreciate if I can't really take pictures right now because it needs to be stable and I don't want to damage the equipment. But when we stop and arrive at our destination, maybe I can take a good picture.
A photo shoot, yeah, hun, that sounds lovely.
And what's your name? And she notes down.
My apologies. Mabel McIntyre of the Louisiana McIntyres.
There's a lot of mech something here.
It suddenly clicks to Yasher now. The McIntyre, he's like, oh.
And as soon as he says that, Razz will like, right, this is my boss here. Little lady hired me.
Sure did, and he's worth every penny, hun. If you need help
Thank
carrying
you,
that
miss.
off the train, I'm sure he will assist.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever Miss McIntyre needs. And you, and he'll kind of look towards Aline. You said you worked for the Gazelle, right?
Oh no, the Gazette. It's a journal.
Gazette.
Yes, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't work in zoos.
Oh, okay. I just had to make sure you weren't sent by anybody nefarious or untowards, I had to protect the little lady here.
No, just my editor. He's a good boss, so you don't need to worry about it.
Very accredited periodical.
So, those people pay you for taking pictures?
Yes, I'm quite good at it too.
Well, hell yeah, sure. We're in the wrong business.
It doesn't pay much, but I get paid.
Anything I've seen?
It's mostly car accidents and buildings on fire, so not really. Anything that would sell newspapers, but
The things I walk by every day, the hell they pay you for that for?
maybe I'll follow you along on this trip. Maybe we'll find some good shots.
Maybe.
Sounds very macabre.
Sounds dangerous.
It's part of the work. Enough about me. I'd rather have you talk and take notes.
That's fair. The next thing I was gonna ask for was a damn drink on this train. Is anybody I can kind of flag down, or is it kind of low economy?
Is there a drink service? Drink service on this train?
Let me roll for it. Roll in under 50.
Damn.
No.
It is a dry train.
This is a prohibition area.
Oh yeah, there is prohibition.
I was just looking for a seltzer or something.
Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
I forgot about that darn prohibition.
No beverages on a trip that's longer than X amount of time.
Razz will kind of put his finger up like he used to do back in the day and realize no one's coming, and he's gonna slump down in his seat and fold his arm. Damn government.
Damn government. Well, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of libations at the festival, Razz. Don't you worry. We're headed off to the Solstice Festival.
Oh, really? That's also where I'm gonna go.
Oh, what are the chances?
And you said you weren't sent by anybody that I might know in my past.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Just asking. And now you, miss, and he'll kind of head point towards Melody. You've been awful quiet. You're not there. You're sitting there judging us, are you?
And Melody's gonna look up oh, you're talking to me, because she was
ma'am.
really in it with her trinket making. Me judge? I don't judge stuff.
You sitting there making something?
Little bracelets and trinkets and stuff.
Nothing to choke somebody out with or anything, right? You're not one to have to worry about, huh?
No, you don't have to worry about me.
All right.
That's for sure.
You guys don't mind if I get a little loose here, right? Right, okay. And when there's a silence and no one responds, he'll pull out a nice little, what do they call them? Stogies, cigars, and puff up.
Stogie.
A hoagie, just a huge sandwich.
It was called something, I forgot.
And there's a lot of people smoking on the train. It's so many people smoking.
I'm being generous asking you guys. We don't really do that.
Yeah.
Very forward thinking.
It was good for your health back then.
Actually, I would appreciate if you didn't.
What's that? Yeah, sure.
Never mind.
As you click the lighter over and over again.
I can't hear him. Like, it's the damn thing. It's my old lighter. You say something, Yasher? Boy, if I couldn't smoke right now, I'd probably just punch somebody square in their nose. What was that, Yasher?
Just turning more pale by the minute.
Oh, jeez.
Aline would probably ask everybody else, like, is anyone else going to the festival? Is this everybody's final destination?
That's where I'm going to. I hear it's very nice.
Yeah, sure. And he'll kind of like slap you on the shoulder. I didn't know you get down like that.
Well, I'm actually here for a book. But I know the festival's happening at the same time, so I thought I would see the festivities.
I don't know what the hell that means, but maybe we can go together, get crazy, get wild.
Oh my, that would be something.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Are you into that new hot sensation called jazz?
I'm all for a good time, Razz, but don't you forget we're working, hun.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Oh, I would never. Old Razz? No. I'm always on the job. Always.
Does Mabel or Razz, do they have any like noticeable gear on them other than like their suitcases and stuff?
Razz has like a pretty big suitcase, well, like for the times, and it's kind of clanky.
Mabel is mostly, she doesn't really carry much, but she does have these files that seem pretty extensive she's sort of collected when we were all getting our belongings, because she doesn't carry bags. It's not her bag.
Oh, gotcha.
It's not her bag. Mm-hmm. It's not her bag to carry bags.
Nice.
I think Melody has a pretty large suitcase bag, because she's got a lot of stuff in it, and as she's pulling it down, she'll be like, well, I'll be working, so you guys can come visit my booth if you want. Like, just been totally awkward this whole time, but come visit my booth. It's
just to clarify, you have a table at the afternoon tea and tarot, so there you go. Okay,
come visit my table, maybe get your fortune told.
When you say that, he's like, Razz almost seems like he's seen a ghost already, and he says, you work?
Oh, she's real good. She's real good. Y'all gotta go see her.
Oh, what kind of reading do you do? Tea leaves, tarot? What's your medium? As a medium, I'm so sorry.
She's gonna do that thing that she did before, where she kind of looks off over your shoulder and then looks back to you, and she goes, I do read tarot. Sometimes I do the crystal ball, but it's kind of hard to travel with. So today, for the festival, it's just tarot.
So what do those bracelets have to do with it? Why are you making those?
They're just, for luck, to help you sleep. In fact, here, and she shoves one at Yasher, like, maybe you could use this for a little luck.
Yeah, what is it? What does it look like?
It's just like this woven bracelet, and has like a little quartz crystal in it. It's like the tiniest little thing.
Yasher takes it with genuine interest, and for maybe the first time in this whole ride, like, makes direct eye contact with you and says, "Oh, thank you so much. I'm coming here to visit a friend, a colleague and friend, but I think that they would be very interested in and so would I in visiting your booth. Thank you so much."
Of course. Next one's not free though, so you're gonna have to pay for those in the future.
I understand. I totally understand. And then this gives me a +1 to luck, right, Susan?
Karen, can you roll me an occult? Oh. Yours is so high too. I was expecting
know.
Success.
Not this bracelet.
Not that bracelet.
This was the free one. The free version. Right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
There's
is
a
for
reason
the
why
aesthetic.
it was free.
Yeah, exactly so.
Karen, in your own way, you have gotten good feelings about Yasher and Razz and Aline?
The vibes are good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
vibes
Rasher's like, why the hell didn't I get a gift? I was on the same damn ride. Razz.
Oh, and not to exclude Melody, but you've always gotten good vibes from her. Like, that's why you work with her. About this point, it's probably, you guys were sitting probably in silence for a while. Mabel and Melody and maybe even Razz were discussing things amongst themselves as they got on the train. But it had been a few hours before you guys talked to each other because you guys are very social, it appears.
Well, Razz was talking. I don't know if anybody was talking back, but he's yapping.
Yeah, probably.
They're the conductor, or the, what are they called? The guy who checks the ticket. The ticket master, or?
Sure, the ticket master.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
That's the name of the website, so that
Train
probably
man.
comes from something.
Yeah.
Ticket taker.
Ticket
The
taker?
attendant?
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 Sure.
They
The
take
ticket
tickets.
taker attendant guy comes open. You hear the door open to this train car, and he comes in and he says, "We're arriving in 30 minutes, folks. Grab your luggage now, or else you're gonna have to fight each other to grab it. Because it's
Feels like we're
overhead."
gonna be fighting either way. But okay.
Yeah, Aline immediately goes for her stuff. She will not let anyone near the things. She'll just like get her luggage from up top and then the bag on the other seat and just like stuff everything on her lap. Just hold everything for the rest of the trip.
Yasher tries to fumble to get his stuff, and he doesn't have a lot with him. He's got that satchel he's carrying with him, and maybe like a really cheap-looking suitcase that like pops open, and cans of beans and his clothes fall out onto the floor. And he's like, "Oh my God, excuse me. It's just I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get this back together. So sorry, everyone."
Cans of beans.
Oh, you poor thing.
Please don't step on that. Please, miss.
A little kid totally steps on your clothes.
You just kind of hear your can of beans get kicked.
Yeah, like rolling down, just rolling
Razz is
away
like,
from the train.
What the hell was that?
I'll be right back. If you could you just? He turns to Razz. Could you just watch? Would you mind just watching this? I just have to get one of the can of beans and maybe some socks.
Yeah, buddy, I got you. I'm just getting the missus stuff and mine. I got yours too. Take your time, buddy.
Thank you so much. And he goes, trying to shove through people getting their luggage to obtain his missing can of beans.
And as like you're leaning down, you hear like the typical gasp, like because you're like underneath women's skirts trying to like grab this can of beans.
Oh God, it's just getting worse.
You all start to feel the train cars start to slow down, and that the horn going, and like the as the train starts to come to a stop, and the chugging starting to slow down, but it gets louder because it's stopping. So you have arrived at Whimseybrook. It's about 6:30 when the train arrives in the evening. So you are assaulted with the chill in the air. That's the first thing you notice, and you could smell it. There's that smell of winter. I'm not sure, Ian, you're a California boy, but you're probably familiar with the smell of rain. You know how you can smell that. You could also smell a storm. You could smell a blizzard when it's coming, and you guys smell the chill in that in the air. The train station is very busy. You could see a lot of flurry of activity in the town. You see a lot of banners being put up, a lot of people rushing here and too, a lot of yelling, going, "Oh no, put that there! What are you doing? That doesn't go there! The booth goes over there!" And then there's a lot of like hanging of signs. Like you see a bunch of posters for like the Veiled Serenade. You see some for the Colorful Maze. Come to the Colorful Maze. You see just people running back and forth, and like there were people waiting outside the train going, "Oh, I managed to, you hear a lot of conversations, like, I managed to secure you somewhere to stay, like, and then they're, like, rush off. And for a lot of people in town, and you as well, there's actually a sign, a helpful sign going, Whispering Teapot, in this way. And then underneath that, though, no vacancies.
Razz is kind of strolling with a McIntyre, so, you know, there has to be some exceptions. Come on. I'm sure, like, we would probably try to, like, go up to an inn and say, like, you know, this is who we are.
Well, Mabel has arranged, or she already has arrangements for
My
sleeping
employer
arrangements.
has us all set up.
Perfect.
All of you do feel, especially Melody, you feel almost a hum as you step into the cobblestone, like onto the streets proper. It's almost like you attribute it to a excitement, a hum of excitement, but it is kind of like lingering a little bit, like not just the chill in the air, but like a chill on your skin that like goes up to your spine and on your, like, the edge of your hair. You all feel that. Melody, you really feel this, and it actually almost vibrates. You feel a vibration.
Ooh. Is it such a good vibration?
To be determined.
Is it? And it's just like in general, like not just like leading somewhere.
As soon as you pass the threshold from the train station, which was newly built, actually, it was built within the last 5 years, so it's very clean and new. But then you step into like the cobblestone street proper, leading towards the sign you saw the Whispering Teapot in. It's almost like, you know, that tuning fork, the ding. That's what you kind of feel, and you kind of almost hear that, but it's like tinnitus where you're trying to ignore it, that type of thing. And then it just fades away.
It's not like continuous.
No. But it does like leave this sense of unease with your general abilities. You feel like, not that it's not right, just that, like that's not something I usually experience.
If she experiences that, she'll turn to Mabel and say, What was your job here again?
I haven't been given a lot of specifics, just that there is and she looks around and sort of like lowers her voice down. There is an occult presence here, and it is about to threaten this community, so we need to get as much information as we can and report back. Hopefully we can sort of take care of it ourselves, but I'm not sure that we have the capacity to do that. So right now, it's just get all the information we can.
We should talk later.
You got it, doll. You got it. And gives her a little wink.
So I guess that's an aside. As you're all walking, I'm not sure if you mentioned it to each other, but you all start walking in the exact same direction.
Oh no.
It's like when you say goodbye and then
Yeah. Oh, I'm parked just down here.
I'm not sure we would notice at first.
Yeah, maybe there is a big crowd, so maybe you are separated in there, but it's like maybe Mabel and Melody are ahead, or no, actually probably Razz would be right behind them. Melody and Mabel would be right ahead. And then as the crowd starts to disperse, as you head more into town away from the train station, again, so many like flyers going up. There's what else do you spot? You just see a lot of flyers. Twilight Masquerade, the Sunrise Salutation, the Afternoon Sermon. Like, there are a lot of events that are going to be going on tomorrow. There's all these signs, a lot of decorations. You see booths being set up. It's almost like everybody in town is preparing for this festival. But as the crowd starts to disperse, yeah, sure, you'll see in front of you, almost directly in front of you, is like Razz, and then ahead of them is Mabel and Melody. And then as you're getting your stuff together, Aline, like you have a lot of stuff to carry. Like you're probably bringing up the rear. You see all of them in front of you heading the exact same direction.
Yeah. Yeah, Aline would probably be taking her sweet time just to take mental notes of like where to go tomorrow, because like she's like, all right, let's scope the scene of where the hotspots are gonna be, because right now I don't have time to set up my equipment, so it's a tomorrow job. But eventually, yeah, she just catches up to the group. or at least sees them ahead. And I'm assuming we're all going to the like hotel that we're staying at.
Ooh.
You are all staying at the Whispering Teapot Inn, and all these things are accumulating, but there's actually handouts for the festival agenda tomorrow. You all see this probably as you're getting closer to the inn. There's like booths set up, like with signs going, make sure to plan out your day properly. Here's an agenda. And so you get this agenda that lays out the times and all of the events happening tomorrow.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Razz has 2, just in case he loses one.
This is so cool. For those of you who can't see this, Susan has just given us a handout with this incredibly designed, all of these events that you have just heard.
So cool.
Yeah, this is very neat.
Yeah.
It's in the style of vintage ads, so it's very condensed, but not a lot of text, but big designs.
You'll have to send this to me so we can post this, because this is cool.
I know that this is possible dangerous situation, but this also seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, y'all.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We are going to have a party.
And we're still all going in the same direction. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
sure. I
good.
don't know why you're following us, but...
It's actually probably getting to that awkward point again where you're like, should I say something? They have been in front of me this entire time.
Razz is going to say, hey, Yasher, you lost, buddy?
No, I'm headed to the Lunar Labyrinth Antiques, just down this way.
All right.
I think I know where it is.
And just be clear, because you can never be too careful, and you never want to underestimate anybody. Nobody sent you, right? You are sent by somebody.
Yasher is like, stops to sort of like, it looks like he's trying to figure out if anyone has sent him, because the question has come from such left field that he's like, did anyone send me? I don't actually know the context of what this is being asked, and he just sort of like goes, no.
She didn't send you?
She?
Ah, we're good. All right.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, no. No. She didn't send
He's
me.
already. Razz is already
Okay.
walking away with this.
Okay. Good. Another good interaction I've had.
Aline catches up at this moment to the group and it's like, hey, is this the only hotel in the town? What's going on here, everybody? Are we all staying at the same place? Because if so, I think that's at least worth a group photo to start our little festival here. To me, it's worth it. If you wouldn't mind, I have... Just hold on. And she like rifles through one of her bags and she takes out one of the smaller cameras, like Kodak folding #1.
Yes.
And then just like unclips it and just like vroom, folds up forward. And then she looks down on it and holds it like, I don't know, like just in front of her chest. And it's like, all right, Razz, if you could move a little to the right, just get closer to Yasher here, and Melody and Mabel just stand behind them. She looks at this like lighting for the day, just like she makes you move a bunch. The whole process takes like about 5 minutes. Like, okay, I think we got it, but you have to stay still for like 30 seconds.
People are staring at us.
It should be good. If anything, we'll take another one tomorrow. Okay.
Is there any chance I could get a copy of that? I can exchange with you an address if you wouldn't mind, and I can pay for the postage and international even, if
yes, absolutely. I was planning on having them developed back home, but if there's anyone who develops photos here in this small village, we can try to have them as soon as possible.
Razz is going to kind of nudge Yasher and say, kind of under his breath, but not really, don't indulge her. This Fultagri stuff isn't going to last too much longer. It's just a phase. Trust me, buddy.
All right, say fromage.
Get my good side.
fromage.
And then your mouth is blurry because you moved during the photo.
After the photo, a light snowfall actually starts coming down. Almost like it was not trying to interrupt your photo either.
I could feel it. I could smell that it was coming, you know?
Yeah.
But you arrive at the Whispering Teapot Inn. Yes, Ian, the Lunar Labyrinth Antiques is further down this road. So you were
Okay.
heading in the right direction.
Are there any activities that are happening tonight, or does it all not start until tomorrow?
So you do, yeah, it's all tomorrow. And you
Okay.
do know that people will have to plan out their days because they cannot go to every single event.
Gotcha.
So I'm sorry, you won't be able to go to all of them. You won't be able to
Aw,
experience all my prompts.
Oh no, we can't get all the trophies in one playthrough. Damn it.
All right, but we're going to that giggle parade. That's
That's a
None of us are
children's
children.
event.
Just a side note for Giggle Parade, I showed my brother that. He was like, this is so unsettling to me. I do not want to look at it anymore.
I love it. Well, I think Mabel will go up to the front desk and just be like, "Hi there, we have a reservation under McIntyre."
You are greeted by a small woman with dark skin. Let me just pull up her description. Mrs. Isabella Brewster, the owner of the Whispering Teapot Inn. She is a small, a woman of medium height with gentle maternal aura. As soon as you walked up, she had this big smile on her face that it just lights up her whole face, and these kind, understanding eyes. She is an older woman, so her eyes also do reflect the wisdom of the years she's seen. But she's just a sweet little old lady. Oh, yes, I have the McIntyre here. I got the big room for you, just like was requested, and there is I heard I was telegrammed over that you needed a cot as well, and I got that set up for you as well. In the side room, not in the ladies' room.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Is the cot for me?
Were you expecting to snuggle up, Razz?
No, I just for once wanted a master bedroom as well. I want to live like a king. He says under his breath.
Well, perhaps if we're here a few days, we can switch on and off.
Oh, you're too kind, miss. I couldn't do that.
Well, we'll see what time we get in, because I'm expecting some late nights ahead.
So I guess, because in my mind, in that time, especially girls would share beds all the time. I know we do that still today, but it was very common practice. So Melody and Mabel probably are expecting to share a bed. Because I know, like, back then, it was like all the sisters, like, even if there were 5 of them, would share, like, one bed. Like, that's just how it
right.
God, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. And then she sees Aline or Aline behind, and she says, "Oh, in your name?"
I'm Aline Lévesque.
Oh, yes, with the Gazette. It was very last minute, and I'm very sorry about this, but we didn't have any of our regular rooms, but I did set up the attic for you, and they said that you might need dark space as well. So there's a partitioned area up there, so you can set up all your equipment. We're very excited to have you here. Miss Elver especially was very much looking forward to you coming.
Yeah, well, I got her letter, and I knew she seemed excited, but I didn't know. You didn't have to go through all that trouble just for me. That's
Oh, it's no worries. We usually have to clear out some room that we haven't seen in a decade every time this festival comes around. But this 100-year one, they've gone all out.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and thank you. And I'll make sure to take good photos of your lovely establishment.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to seeing it in the newspaper.
The newspaper.
News on the march.
But here's your keys, and she'll give you a set of keys. And Mabel, you got one too for your room.
Hi. Yeah, sure. Angle. He goes to shake her hand, and the suitcase opens up again, and beans and clothes spill across the floor. And he goes,
Oh, no.
Shh. Don't worry about it. I'll get it in a second.
She's already coming around the table to help.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I requested the budget room with a hot plate.
Yes, Mr. Angle, and she's helping you put your stuff back in. She's actually like trying to fold the clothes as she's putting them back in. And
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
I just fluffed up your room for you just a few minutes ago, actually. Yours is all set up as well. I'll just... And she starts to put things away for you. She actually, like, takes the suitcase from you at some point and, like, sets it up and, like, starts putting stuff in for you. Just make sure it's all nice and tidy. She even starts to line up the beans in your suitcase.
Please don't... I've got a system. Please... Okay. Thank you.
System for this thing that's fallen.
How many cans of beans did you bring?
He has a fetish for beans rolling out of his
It's on purpose every time.
I need this to happen. I need this for me.
That's how you jumpstart your magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's all ritual. You have to put things in a certain place.
You have to humiliate yourself.
But you were also handed a key.
Thank you so much.
Let me just, since you all are in the same hall, except for you, and she'll point to Aline, I'll just show you your rooms real quick, because Necros, he's busy cooking. So I'll show you where we need to go.
Oh, thank you so much. You're such a doll.
And if you guys need me to do a turn down service, I will gladly do that as well. And unfortunately, you have missed dinner. So, but you could go into town. I'm sure they'll have something for you. But breakfast is served 6 a.m. sharp, and it lasts until 8. So if you guys want to eat here, I could even set up a wake up call for you.
And is that extra or?
You will have to pay for the breakfast, but the wake up service is free and the turn down service is free as well.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And I just double checking on that hot plate.
Yes, I will put in an order for Necros for you.
Thank you so much.
And she's leading you up the stairs as you guys are talking.
Yeah, and as we're walking up, Miss Brewster, while I got you here, we got this lovely little flyer, and I am just overwhelmed with the amount of things going on tomorrow. Is there anything you think we gotta see?
Oh, yes, the Twilight Masquerade. In my younger days, I tell you what, that is an event you cannot miss. And then make sure to check out the talking statues. They're all around town. I'm sure you'll see them. They're a delight. Jimmy sets those up. It's crazy what he could do. And then the Veiled Serenade. That show, it sits in your soul. It's so good.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like the bee's knees. I'm so excited.
It definitely is the bee's knees. Oh, you kids with your fun slang.
Razz will kind of like quickly pull her to the side and kind of give her a slight charming whisper, and he'll say, "Is there anywhere around here where a sultry man can get his due, per se? You know, get his
She gives you a quizzical look.
And as he's trying to like grab for words, he'll say, "Is there a speakeasy around here?"
Oh yeah. We kind of ignore prohibition here.
Fantastic.
Razz almost falls to his knees. He's, you folks are progressive here.
There actually, I read up on this. There were towns in the 1920s that just were like, yeah, prohibition doesn't exist.
You people understand.
Yeah, like it was just, even the cops were in on it. Like no one cared. It's really the big cities that really enforced it.
Gotcha. So go out to the small towns and you're fine.
Yeah, or you have to know which ones. But there were like small nuggets where it was like just towns were like, a ton of islands did that too. They were just like, who's going to enforce it out here?
Cool. Good. Okay. Good to know.
Lots of moonshine.
I won't be so far from home after all. Okay, it's good to know.
Yeah, it was real silly of them to outlaw it. They used to my pa used to give me whiskey when I was a little girl when I had my toothaches. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm. And we all do medicinal cocaine at this point in history. So.
Absolutely.
But you'll definitely want to go to what's it called again? What does he call it again? The Giggling Gargoyle Tavern. Oh, like I was saying, he was the one who sets up all the statues around town. He just really loves his gargoyles.
So the guy who sets up the statues also owns a speakeasy. Talk about a double life, but hey.
Well, he usually arranges them around his tavern, and to add to the ambiance. I find them a little weird, but he really likes them. So.
Well, gang, I think we found our nightly activity.
Yep. Let's head to the Giggling Gargoyle.
Yeah, I'll join if you actually all are all going there. I just wanted to ask, Miss, is the Lunar Labyrinth Antiques open at this time of night? I just need to say hello to Elra before going to bed.
Oh, no. A lot of the shops around here closed up early for the festival because they all are prepping their booths or their events. But a lot of them are having limited hours. I know Miss Elra, she usually helps run things around town. But Francis will be open in limited hours tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're going to the Lunar Labyrinth as well. Huh.
Well, not tonight, apparently, but yes, I just need to say thank you to Helra, the owner of the antique store. She's the one who invited me. She really wanted me to take pictures here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she sent me this letter. She just shows like a very nicely, in nice cursive written letter. Very hard to read cursive, even.
Yep. That's why there's a plain text.
Dear esteemed photographer, I hope this letter finds you well and filled with the spirit of adventure. Your unique talents as a photojournalist are earnestly sought for a momentous occasion, the 100-year anniversary of the Equinox Festival in the delightful town of Whimseybrook.
Your ability to capture the essence of events through the lens is a gift that will undoubtedly illuminate the extraordinary celebration. Whimseybrook, known far and wide for its peculiar charm and ageless traditions, shall open itself to you in all its whimsical grandeur. The festival holds a promise of ancient rituals, lively festivities, and encounters with a myriad of captivating townsfolk. Embark on this photographic odyssey into the very heart of Whimseybrook. Through your lens, document the town's unique history, immortalize the vibrant characters that dwell within, and capture the festivities that have stood resilient against the trials of time. Yet, be mindful. Beneath the surface of mirth and laughter, a subtle current of mystery flows, and it falls upon you to unveil the secrets concealed in the shadows. As the town extends its warm embrace to welcome you, brace yourself for a celebration unlike any other, a revelry that transcends the mundane and delves into realms extraordinary. May your camera seize the spirit of Whimseybrook's Equinox Festival, and may your exploration through the viewfinder lead to stories that will resonate through the annals of another century. With the utmost curiosity, Elra Snow, proprietress of the Lunar Labyrinth Antiques.
Yeah, and I liked how you read that in front of all of us.
Yeah, forgive my accent. It's not my first language.
No, I mean, you're an open book. It makes me trust you. It really does.
Good. I have nothing to hide.
Do you have much rapport with Elra?
No, I don't know her at all. I just wanted to say thank you and meet her in person. But yeah, we could go together tomorrow after maybe the breakfast, and maybe we can schedule our agendas for tomorrow and choose what we want to see. And I'll accompany you to the antique store.
You know what? That sounds lovely, and I do have some questions about photography. Mostly, is it going to be just a fad? I've heard that
it's been going on for the mid 1800s. I think it's there to stay a little.
Yes, and now they're moving too.
Yeah, that won't catch on though. That I don't think that there's no market for it.
Gotcha. There's a lot of conflicting information, but Okay. I'm gonna check out my room.
Hey, Yasha, you don't want to come to us to the giggling gargoyle? Don't tell me you got to turn in early.
Social things kind of don't sit well with me, but I suppose it can't hurt. And I haven't had a drink in a while, so what the hell, right?
Let's go wet that whistle.
That's the attitude, Yasha. Because I tell you what, you can read books all day, but at some point it's gonna start feeling like you're staring at a lead paint wall, which is entirely safe in this time.
That's what I paint my walls with.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the asbestos in the insulation.
You want a safe home or not?
You'll have it with asbestos and lead, and you'll like it.
And your radium-lined watches.
As we're all like trundling out, getting ready to party, Razz freezes and has everyone freeze with him. He's like, hold on. Wait a minute. Melody? How old are you?
Does it really matter? I'm traveling on my own. I'm an adult.
Razz will squint his eyes and say, I guess not. Let's go.
I think the drinking age back then was 18.
Yeah. It's 18 up north. If anything, she's probably old enough to drink this illegal alcohol.
That's a fair point.
But I appreciate you checking.
Hey, it's all about responsibility, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially you and your beans. You gotta tighten that up. We'll talk about it though.
You saw that, huh?
Yeah, every time.
Everybody on the train and out of the train saw the beans roll out.
It's like a clinking on the ground. It's like a clink, clink, clink. Those are like iron beans you got in there, man.
Well, I like to be frugal, okay? And you bring a can of beans, you heat it up, and you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there.
You do.
Wait, were you planning on eating beans the entire time that you were here? Every meal beans?
Well, they're very high in fiber.
It's so boring.
And inexpensive.
I'll tell you what, drinks are on me, honey.
Hello, listeners. Thanks for joining me in the mid-roll. This is a pretty long episode, so I'm going to make this one real quick. I hope you're enjoying our new Call of Cthulhu campaign, Endless Equinox, and our guests that we have. We're going to be playing this campaign for a little while before we jump back into our ongoing Star Wars story, but this is going to be real good. Susan has literally spent a ton of time and filled up like many books with notes to give us, the players, and you, the listeners, this incredibly intricate mystery that you are going to listen to us try to unravel as our minds unravel. So that is going to be a lot of fun. We've already got a couple of episodes recorded as of this. This mystery is so fascinating, and we want to get to the bottom of it and figure out what's going on in this story. Also, we've been nominated for a Crit Award for Best Villain in an Actual Play Podcast. Our villain Bonastasi, the Duros Black Sun gang member from our Star Wars campaign, has been nominated for this award. Now, the voting has closed on that as of right now, and they are going to be doing a virtual event on Friday, August 16th. If you are listening to this when the episode comes out, that's this Friday. So they're going to be doing a Twitch stream at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/Crit Awards. So if you want to come out and watch this cool event and check out, a bunch of other cool shows and game masters and creators and stuff like that, be celebrated at the Crit Awards 2024 and see if we win, please join us on Friday, August 16th at 6 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/Crit Awards. Once again, thank you to all of our listeners who came out and nominated us. That's really cool. Thank you so much. I want to bring to your attention, as of this recording, we're in the summer months and things are getting really hot. We're having a lot of record heat all across the United States and all across the world. And this is affecting all of us, especially our most vulnerable neighbors and people in our community who are unhoused or have some kind of water insecurity in the areas that they live, can't get access to free and clean fresh water. So I've got a really great mutual aid group. They are local to where I live here in Los Angeles. What they do is really, really great. It's called Water Drop Los Angeles, and basically they bring volunteers down to Skid Row here in downtown Los Angeles, and they set up stations all around to deliver and supply water for people in that area, mostly unhoused people who may not have access to clean drinking water, especially in the LA summer heat. They bring water, they bring ice, they bring snacks weekly to people who would not otherwise have access to this. So that's really great. If you live in Los Angeles, you can volunteer with them. You can also donate, and just like a $7 donation is about 2 weeks worth of water for people. So that's pretty incredible and very much needed. You can visit this organization at waterdropla.org. We'll have that link in our Discord, which you can visit to check out more of this kind of activism and mutual aid stuff. Or if you just want to talk with us and hang out with us and talk about games and stuff like that, come into the Discord, check this out. I'll post this link also in our show notes, so you can follow it there, waterdropla.org. And I encourage you to donate and also to check out other mutual aid projects like this in your area, because I guarantee you there's people out there that need this kind of mutual aid and are providing this kind of help in your communities. That's all. I know I said this was going to be a short one, and it really wasn't, but I hope you enjoyed the extra long episode. And thank you all for listening. Thank you for downloading. And now, let's get back to the episode.
So the town is still getting set up. There's, but it's everybody who isn't like setting up is probably heading towards the Giggling Gargoyle because it's the only nightlife available before the event tomorrow, because all the other shops are just shut down because everybody's getting ready. So the Giggling Gargoyle settled right in the heart of Whimseybrook, so you had to pass through the town center, which is, you see a very large tent concealing something. You hear people setting up something behind the tent. You see this big bonfire being set up in this very center of town. Booths are lining the whole edge of the town square, all with like curtains drawn so you can't see what they are yet. And there's like a sign being hung near the bonfire that's being set up. It's not lit, it's just the logs. It's very large. It's taller than the tallest of you. How many logs have been set up? It's almost like a stacking of it in that like log cabin form with a bunch of kindling in the middle, and in front of it is a sign for the eternal flame. Then you see in the distance, just up the street, it's like there's nothing else, just leading towards a big mansion you can see in the distance, with gates drawn. That's at the end of that road leading away from the town square, and it's on the opposite side of town from the Whispering Teapot Inn. This town is very old New England, so it's a lot of like stone and wood buildings, like almost leaning on each other, built up in the center of town. And as you go out, it's very one-story buildings, besides the Whispering Teapot Inn, which is a 3-story building. You walk in to the Giggling Gargoyle. So you find that there's a bunch of people. There's even people standing outside smoking with drinks in hand. Again, prohibition does not exist here. Like, it is flaunting it. Like, there's just people standing outside. You could hear music being played inside, like loud, like talking and yelling and everybody talking over each other. It's a very welcoming establishment. It's you walk through a very heavy wooden door. You are greeted by the warm glow of candlelight. This establishment does not have electricity yet. It's adorned with a very rustic charm, like rough-hewn wooden beams crisscrossing the ceiling. There's aged stone walls against the back of it that have make you think of this history and tradition. Quaint tapestries are depicting mythical creatures are hanging up behind a bunch of gargoyles on the rafters up above. There's so many gargoyles, all grinning, and none of them look stern. All of them are just all laughing and in merriment. In the center of the tavern stands a large stone fireplace. Think the tavern that Gaston was in Beauty and the Beast. You know how it was all centered around the big fireplace. And it's very warm in here, contrasting how cold it was outside as the snow was falling. But even with all this raucous atmosphere, there are cozy little alcoves on the wall for rounded benches where you see that there is actually a booth available. There's the booth against the wall that's rounded, but then there's chairs outside too that it could fit all of you. You're greeted by the bartender behind, who is a tall, hardy, strong man, standing at 6'4". He is barrel-chested, and he has... You could just tell that he has a larger-than-life personality. He's one of those people where the grin lines are never-ending because he's just always smiling. You just see those lines on his face. He stands with a tall, sturdy build, and he greets you as you come in. And he's like, "Welcome to the Giggling Gargoyle. Sit wherever you want." And that you could guess is Jimmy, who Mrs. Brewster was referencing. He has dark skin and a meticulously capped Van Dyke.
Oh, he's handsome.
Hey, sugar.
Hey, sugar.
And then bustling in between the tables, you can see the small little busboy. He's very small and frail. He's a very lean kid. He looks very young, but he's going from table to table, taking orders and barely holding onto a tray that has a bunch of drinks on it.
Super heavy tray.
Yeah.
You actually should just go bully him. Welcome to the food chain.
Aline will return Jimmy's smile with a very genuine smile, thank you, and kind of motion to Mabel and Melody, well, let's go sit down, and then as an afterthought, the two dudes, yeah, come, let's go have something.
Yeah, Razz just kind of hails in. He just kind of waves at Jimmy. He's like, "Jimmy, how the hell are you? Heard a lot about you. Thought you was the damn mayor. How much I heard about you. You said we just sit anywhere."
Yeah, just help yourself to wherever you want to sit. I don't know you. You seem to know me. Yeah, I'm Jimmy. I'm Jimmy Johnson.
"Hey, Razz, nice to meet you." Just kind of wave from where I am and say, let's quit the shit, man. Let's get a tab going."
Sure thing. We got gin and some cocktails, a wine and beer and whiskey, and that brand new Coca-Cola, all fresh.
Oh, give me a gin and a Coke, please, God.
So an upper and a downer.
Oh, yeah, you gotta stay in between. I'm working, damn it.
Just even out. Nice and even keel.
Of course, a round of gin and Coke for the whole table. Trust me, you guys will love it.
Whatever's weakest.
After his first gin and Coke.
Yeah, mostly Coke for him.
Mostly Coke.
So much cocaine.
Oh my god, yes, you're on cocaine.
Yeah, I'll get those right up for you. Silas will bring them over. Yeah, have a seat wherever you like.
Is Silas the frail boy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one way of describing him. Yeah.
Razz, as he's sitting down, he'll kind of whistle and slam the table. "Today! Come on now. Hurry. You just try to put
Take
some
a chill pill,
anxiety.
Razz. They busy.
"Oh, you know me, miss. I'm just getting started. I'm just a little excited. They have gin and Coke."
Did you actually know the gargoyle comes from the French gargoyle. Gargoyle.
Gargouille.
Thank you. French was never my thing. Thank you. Yes, and it means it likely means from the throat to swallow. Isn't that exciting? So
It means gurgle, but you're close enough. Let's.
We just give Yasher a deadpan stare. Where's the jazz music at? Let's get it going now. Starts to get up and do a little hip shake thing when they're like, they kind of like shaking their hips, and they have like two hands on their hips. Come on now.
Could all of you give me a listen? Could you roll a listen?
I mean, I can roll it for you. It's not going to be good.
Me either.
So I think my character's quirk is like every time I fail a roll, he'll just complain about what he failed about. He didn't really fail. It was the establishment. Like, this damn music's too. It's not loud enough. Is this Whimseybrook or Whisperbrook now? Let's get it going.
I didn't hear anything, so for my ears, the jazz is too loud already.
Well, there is someone setting up in the corner, a woman with a violin, but she seems to be playing it, she seems to be, if anybody knows music, she's going to be playing it in the style of a fiddle.
Gotcha.
Lovely.
They have live music here. Ooh. Classy joint.
And then a wayfish looking boy, young boy. He's just like young 20s, so I shouldn't call him boy, but he's very awkward, very wayfish looking. He has, you could tell he's like of mixed descent, because the Asian features are coming through in his eyes and like face. He comes by with a tray again, even with like just gin and tonics on there. He should not be holding it. It's a surprise he has not dropped it.
Is the tray shaking?
Yes.
Hold it steady now. Hold it steady and ready.
I'm sorry. Here's your drinks. And he sets them down. And he lets out a sigh as he puts them in front of you. He has like a very light skin, dark hair that he wears long, and it's tied in like a low ponytail at the nape of his neck. He's just wearing like loose fitting clothing. But he puts the drinks in front of you and then starts putting them in front of you. Is there anything else I could help you with?
Thank you so much. There was one with more Coke in it. That was for me.
He lets out a look of alarm. Like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Son, was you not prepared for that? I'm pretty sure we said it. Now look at you, back straight. And he kind of like puts his back straight. Puff out your chest.
He's like you know very awkward about being touched. Yes. And he starts to do it, and he's like, the drink, and he closes his eyes. The one furthest from me. That's what Jimmy said. That's what Jimmy said. And he like snaps as he. But he set down the tray now, so it's kind of like turned, so you don't even know which one that one was.
Thanks, darling.
Can I help you with anything else? You guys want anything to eat?
Is there any or peanuts or complimentary anything like that?
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
A can of beans.
It's all right. It's all right. You don't have to have beans here. It's all right. Miss McIntyre will cover it. It's okay.
We'll take whatever the special is. How about that?
That would be the chicken soup. I could get right up.
Perfect. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, hon. You're doing a great job, sweetie.
And he like stands up a little straighter, and he like, thanks. And he like hugs the tray instead of like holding it normally and walks away.
There you go. That boy has promise.
He'll get there.
I fixed him.
Yeah. Look at him walk away with all that confidence now.
As he trips on the way back to the kitchen.
Yeah. He does run into someone.
Oh.
But in the corner, the music starts playing. It's a very jaunty tune. This woman who actually, now that the crowd parts for a moment, you can see her. She's a very striking woman, like very traditionally beautiful. She's wearing, you could see her in any crowd now. You're wondering how you missed her, because she has such a presence that just pulls people in. She has a slender frame draped in like flowing purple garments, and she's swaying as she plays the fiddle, like she's doing like a little dance while she does it, and she just has this aura of like mystique and allure, and she's playing in the corner.
Before he can even say anything, Razz is like, no, yeah, sure, don't even think about it. That type of woman will eat you up and spit you out before you even know it.
I'm sorry.
You leave that kind of caliber to old Razz. He'll take care of it.
Aren't you married?
Huh?
Aren't you married, Razz?
Oh, Miss McIntyre. This is work.
We're in different zip codes.
But this tune, it just sits with you though. Like this tune is almost that hum that Melody was feeling before. You all almost feel it. It's almost like a jolt that goes through you. Once the tune really starts to crescendo, you like feel it. As it like hits a peak, you just all feel this like buzz or vibration, and it's almost like you're not sure if you could accredit it to it just like really good music playing or if it's something else.
If it's the cocaine in the
Exactly. The atmosphere, this lively atmosphere, this anticipation and buzz in the air. Everyone around you is talking about what they're gonna do at the festival tomorrow. You could just hear conversations about like, I can't wait for the colorful maze. Those Miller sisters really set it up nice, and you over here like, oh, but the talking statues, how does Jimmy do it? I don't even know. And like, just a general buzz. There's everybody's talking about the festival, and everyone's excited.
Is it a welcome feeling, or is it an uneasy feeling? This like...
It draws you in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like this allure. Except for Melody. It just feels off.
Like off key?
Yeah. Yes,
What
exactly.
you
Yeah, exactly. It feels, that's a perfect way to describe it. It's almost like hitting your ears wrong.
Great music. Am I right?
I can't look away from it.
Yeah, sure. You never said anything more true. You know, yeah, sure. I think it's more than the music. I think she's calling to me specifically.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
See, that's your problem, Yasher. You're right. And he'll get up. And,
That's your problem. You're right.
he'll get up and like after she's done performing, he'll kind of do like the 1920s cool Zootman kind of strut over to her, the woman who just finished performing.
She will be performing for a while.
She's not done.
Yeah, she's putting on a show.
You could like go dance in front of her.
Yeah.
Just right in front
Big
of her.
intense eye contact.
Tip. Oh, no, tip. Drop a tip.
No one else is dancing.
Is there a role for that? Can I like? Is that like a charm thing?
Yeah,
Just get up and start grooving.
or making eye contact, like that intense eye contact.
Yeah, just like a little seductive, just like counter seductive. She's the one who started it with all that shooting. Like I feel it in my brain. The way she's hitting that certain octave that I can tell she's interested.
We can do an opposed charm check.
Perfect. Right now. Damn it.
Her charm is 86.
That's very charming.
She has to roll below 86 and she wins.
What?
She has to roll.
Yeah.
But you both failed.
We did.
So I'm not sure what that means.
Sure, both like, nah.
She failed less than you, though. You failed by a lot. So you're like, yeah, almost. So you go to like get over there, and then it's almost just like you do that deadpan stare, just like you just lose your cool for a moment. Like she's just too much. She does like a move, like she moves in a certain way that you're just like, whoa.
Because I already think the cat's out of the bag. The way she's singing, she wants me. Come on, it's a done deal.
She definitely notices you.
Oh, yeah.
As she's facing the other way.
Because in Razz's mind, if like even Yasher picked up on it, like it's a done deal.
Yasher should not be your barometer for any social interaction.
Romance.
Yeah.
So she will eventually stop, but she does play. She just started this set, so it would be like at least like an hour and a half.
Oh God, that's painfully long.
Yeah.
I keep trying to get her attention.
Yeah.
Just dancing in front of her for an hour and a half.
While you're over there, Mabel is going to sort of whisper over to Melody. He is such a dog.
You know, usually the feelings are really good with you guys, but I don't know what's going on with him. This trip, it is something's weird.
You were saying that earlier that we needed to talk about something. Is everything all right?
When I stepped off the train, I just felt it in my boots, and it just like went all the way up to the top of my head, and it was just, there was like a ringing. I don't know what's going on. That's why I asked you what you're doing here, because something's going on. Something's up.
Aline is leaning in like over the table as if she was part of this conversation, this like private conversation, kind of like listening in, nodding. Yeah, what is it you're doing in the city?
And Melly's gonna be like,
hey, it's us three girls. I'm part of this. We're all in this together.
And then Yasher's there too.
Somebody sent her. There's no way.
Well, and Mabel will take a sip of her gin. We got some tips off about this Equinox festival, about there being some underground sort of occult practices, some sort of shady shit going on, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you believe in that sort of thing, but that is definitely up my alley and Melody's alley here. So we're just here to do some research, investigate a little bit.
Okay. Well, no, she kind of laughs a little dismissively. Like, okay, no, I don't believe in that, but
I do.
It's okay.
Everyone forgot Yasher was there.
It's that thing
Also
where
leaning in.
Yeah, the camera is just on those three girls, and then just like pans over to Yasher, lean right in.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I'm sure you do, but I'll be here for the pictures. So if anything happens, I'll be sure to catch it.
Oh, please do. I would love to get some of those photographs for our investigation.
But now, don't get too excited. Most of the time, it's just some specks of dust in the lens, and people go crazy and say it's all ghosts. But this is all people don't know enough about the art of photography yet. A picture is not going to be proof of anything you think is happening, is all I'm saying.
I would say that just like photography, maybe many people don't have a limited understanding of the occult. They aren't sure of what they're seeing because it's difficult for them to even perceive it.
That is wonderfully said, yeah, sure. Yes, the supernatural is just unknown, and that's what makes it so mysterious for everybody. But if we just had a little bit more information, it would be much more mainstream.
Aline just bottoms up her glass, goes like, okay, I see I'm the minority here at the table, so I'll just nod along.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to get some empirical data, the written word, a journal, some kind of historical document. That would be important, but just because it's so early on in our development as human beings, that the mysticism that we all relied on for survival, it doesn't mean that it's disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, tomorrow I think I'm going to be taking pictures at the Giggle Parade, and then we can talk about it more, maybe.
Well, if you're looking for some freelance work, I know that you don't think that those specks of dust or whatever, but I sure would love to see some concrete evidence. And if you are looking for some extra work while you're out here doing your news stuff, I'd love to have you on the team.
Yeah, we'll bump into each other all day, I'm sure. So, it'll be my pleasure for sure.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
lift up her
Well,
glass.
she looks at her empty glass. I'm like, oh, and like waves at Silas maybe.
Oh, he was heading your way with another tray that he should not be holding of bowls of steaming soup.
That's right. We got
Soup, yes.
Please don't spill the soup.
So I have a question, Susan.
Yes.
I feel like up to this point, Melody has been kind of like downplaying a little bit of the medium stuff, so we haven't really delved into that. So I don't know how you want to like incorporate her spirit guide, because like she definitely wants to know like what Uncle Ed wants, what Uncle Ed is saying.
Yeah. So we cut back to the train, and we see it from Melody's point of view. There is a older gentleman that is, he's sitting where all the camera equipment was. It's coming out of him. He's like an older 18th century man wearing like typical Victorian era clothing, like the breeches and like a waistcoat and a vest, and he's just sitting with all this camera equipment in him. And he had been saying to Melody when she was looking over, he like was looking at Aline, and when she looked up, he went, "I think she's okay." And then over to Yasher and goes, "This one, he has something. Stay near him." And then when Razz just kept talking the entire time, he's like, "Could you just tell him to shut up?" So it just cuts to that scene. We see that, and now back to the present. He keeps trying to grab a drink from the table, and he just looks so sad as his hand whisks through it. And another reason why you feel so unsettled here is it's almost like you don't notice it right away, but from like the corner of your eye, he's a little more fuzzy. And that's when you notice in this moment, it seems like your connection is a little looser than it always has been.
Maybe Mabel knows about him because we've worked together before.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. I just didn't know if it would like freak her out, and so that she would try to downplay it.
No, definitely not. She's had many, many personal experiences with spirits. So, working in New Orleans.
Oh, and he would have made a dumbass or smartass remark when Aline said that she doesn't believe in the occult. He would have been like, "Ha, if only she could see me."
I might get a picture of Uncle Ed by the end of his campaign.
Yeah. I wanted to, when we were doing like the group picture, I was like, can you develop it? And there's like a figure in it.
I'm all for it.
Bunny ears over like,
oh my god.
As this is all going on, Razz is just, he has like sweat pits on his arms because he's like doing the Charleston. That's hard as he's in it deep. He's going for a home run.
Where are you planning on taking this girl? Because like you're sleeping on a cot.
I got a little cot. I got dreams.
Maybe she can take him somewhere.
There you go.
There you go.
At some point when you're dancing, Jimmy will like come out from behind the bar and like put a hand on your shoulder. "Son, she's seeing someone. You've
So am I.
you should really call it. It's not gonna happen."
Hey, listen, hey Jimmy, I know we go way back and all that, but you didn't hear what I heard in that song. Okay?
He puts
This
his
is meant
hands
to
up
be.
and he's like, "I'm just trying to help you, brother. I just."
I hear Jimmy, I hear you, and I appreciate you, and I from the bottom of my heart, I always loved you. But this I need. All right, this is happening. I'm telling you, buddy, the way she was singing that song, she yearned for the old Raster, and he's here, and he's going to Charleston until she realizes I'm here. Okay.
Could you roll a spot hidden for me?
This man is gonna self-destruct so quickly.
Yes.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, you are. While you're talking to Jimmy, the music does stop and she goes to slip out the back.
Huh? And she's just gone?
She starts to. You see it as she's slipping through the door.
Does it look like I have a chance to go after her, or she's just like, it's just, there's too many people in the way?
With your success, it's almost like she looked over at you and then like just quickly like rushed out with her head down.
Doesn't sound like a good thing.
Razz, there's the soup. The soup is here. Does he want his? Maybe he doesn't.
You could eat it. That's fine. Just eat it.
Damn it, Jimmy, she got away. I grabbed Jimmy by his collar. I start shaking.
Hey, man.
You know what you were doing, Jimmy. You heard the song too, you son of a bitch. You wanted her for yourself. That's why she's in the back. God. I try to start like, kind of like a bar riot with Jimmy.
Jimmy is so nonchalant. He's like, hey, buddy.
He's-
No.
It's
Even
like
with you
trying to
aggressively grabbing him, he's just like,
He's trying to like light a match in like the rain. He just won't go for it.
yeah. He's just like looking at you amused.
At some point I realize how ridiculous I look and I saunter back to my table, missing out on true love.
Jimmy's laughing as you're walking away. Or like chuckling to himself.
I won't forget this, Jimmy.
I'm sure, my friend.
It's one campaign-long enemy.
So how'd that go, Razz?
Well,
How'd that go? Looked like you were over there for quite a while.
I'll tell you one thing, Miss McIntyre. I am exhausted. Have you ever done the Charleston for 30 minutes straight?
I cannot say that I have.
I hope we have a bath in our quarters. I am drenched in sweat.
Do you want some hot soup?
Razz gives Yasher this kind of this look like he just lost something dear to him, and he'll say, yeah, I'll take some soup, buddy.
It's good. He pushes him over a bowl of hot soup, hot chicken noodle soup. It's really good.
As like he's like solemnly eating like silently, he'll just look up at like the whole table and just say, for his own like reassurance, you all heard it too, right? How she was singing. You just can't sing like that to a guy and expect him to, not reciprocate.
The song was very moving. Yes. Must be that the small town charm, I think, maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I do think it probably is part of her job, Razz, that she's supposed to sort of bring in the audience. I don't want you thinking,
Oh, Miss
she
McIntyre,
was
that's misleading.
sending you any signals
I fell in love. On the spot.
without even speaking to her. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Miss McIntyre, she spoke to me. You heard her in that song.
I did not hear her say, "Oh, Razz, please come over and harass me." But maybe I missed a verse or two.
Miss McIntyre, I'll just eat my soup. He just slumps down defeated.
Maybe you'll see her tomorrow.
You think
At
so?
the festival. She'll
That's
probably be
right.
performing somewhere.
This can't be her only gig. What was I thinking? That's why I'm with you, Miss McIntyre. You're the big thinker. You got all the big ideas. And you keep me safe. But let's not talk about that. You just continue to eat. You just continue to eat. So, what did I miss when I was getting my life ruined? By the way, we do have an enemy. His name is Jimmy.
Jimmy seemed pretty nice. I don't
Hey. He knows what he did. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Well, it is getting late, and there is a lot to do tomorrow.
6 a.m. breakfast. Looks like things start pretty early.
I'm afraid I won't be joining you for breakfast, unfortunately.
What's wrong, Yasher?
Oh, nothing.
It's the beans.
Yes, yeah. I would prefer just to have my own meals. It's more frugal that way, But I appreciate the hospitality. Thank you, Mabel. If I can call you that.
Anytime. Yeah, of course. And if you do change your mind tomorrow, if, you happen to spill your beans all over the counter or something and you're hungry still, we'll be down at breakfast.
I don't know, it's a little formal. It's a little familiar to me. She's Miss McIntyre. All right, from the long line of McIntyres, and it should be treated as such. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So I said it's okay, but you need to call me Miss McIntyre for Razz's sake.
It's just a little off-putting. This is Miss McIntyre right here in front of you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well, Razz,
I've
I
told
think
you a million times to call me Mabel, Razz.
Miss McIntyre, I just can't do that. The influence your family has over this region of America is just unprecedented. She could buy this whole town twice over.
Have we heard of you? Would we have heard of Miss McIntyre?
Let's roll a history.
Oh, okay.
Because they're pretty well known in New Orleans. Oh!
Damn.
Oh my god.
wow.
I got a success with a skill that I have 5 in.
That's amazing. That's great.
That's great.
Wow. So, Razz, you definitely have, of course. That's why there's so much reverence from you. Probably because you were near the Mississippi River and they probably controlled a lot of the boats on the Mississippi River. And then Aline, I don't know why you have so much information on New Orleans.
There's a French,
weird.
There's a French
Oh,
link
yes,
between
French,
the two of them.
yeah.
So just a nugget of information that's just stuck to them in the back of the mind.
We do import-export to Canada sometimes,
Yeah. So, Yasher, no.
Yeah.
You've never
yeah.
heard of the McIntyres.
We don't run in the same circles. Mabel, Miss McIntyre, I will honor whatever it is you're comfortable with. I even though I'm not maybe joining you for breakfast, I am looking forward to visiting the Lunar Labyrinth with you.
Yeah, I'll come knock at your door if you're done eating your beans, and we can go together.
That sounds swell.
Well, it is pretty late. I think I'm gonna start heading out now.
Yeah, though I am amped up pretty hard on this Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it might take a few hours to fall asleep.
Aline, before you go,
Yes.
I have something to tell you. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. I thought of that when I was doing the Charleston for an hour.
Well, I might just take you up on that, but
You've never heard that before. I know it. Oh,
no, it's
clever.
it's new. I think that will stick though.
So as you step onto the streets, the snow is falling pretty heavily, and you could hear the crunch as you're walking. You're the first ones to put footsteps in the snow. Each flake glimmers in the soft light of the both flame lanterns and electric lanterns. It almost looks like some parts of the town have electricity and the others don't. You could see your breath in the air. It engulfs the snowflakes as they fall, and the mist drifts away. There are a few other people out, but everybody else seems to be wrapping up as well. They're done setting up, and it seems like the town's getting ready for bed. There are windows glowing with both torchlight and electricity as you pass by and you arrive back at the inn. Mrs. Brewster is falling asleep in a chair near the front desk, but she awakens when you come in. Oh, I was just getting ready. And she sits up straighter. Are you done for the night?
Yes, ma'am. Just got back from the Giggling Gargoyle. Want a little leftover Coke? Shaking them.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I should be going to bed soon. But do I need to show you up, or you all look good?
I think I'll be good. Thank you very much.
Oh, right. I did the turn down for you, so all your beds are ready. And Miss McIntyre, in your bed is a steaming hot bath.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Miss Brewster.
Thank you. You didn't touch any of my things though, did you? Really?
Oh, no, just turn down the bed. I didn't touch anything.
Okay. No. Thank you.
That's too much.
Poor Mrs. Brewster. She's trying so hard. So y'all get settled for bed.
We all get in like full body pajamas with the back that falls out to show your butt.
Yeah.
The nightcap with a little ball.
That sounds like
on
just a
top.
Yasher thing.
Yasher, your room's just like a small, like what would be considered like a small office now. Like there's no closet. It's just a small room. It's adorned nicely. It's like a wooden frame bed with like, but it's like a twin size bed and then a small desk next to it. No dresser, but you have a window. Mabel, your room is huge. You got one of the largest rooms, the state room. It's a luxurious retreat. It's just like ornately carved wooden door that you're greeted by a fire already burning. You have a fireplace in your room. There's like a sitting area. There's a separate like master bedroom, and then Razz is almost like what would have probably been the servants' quarters attached to the master's bedroom before. I hate to do that to you, but it's like
Damn barn. Watching the cows and the chickens sleep. That's why I do so much gin.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's still like for a nice, stately room. But the 4-poster bed in Mabel's room has like even like the curtain surrounding it. It's soft pillows, downy, like bedspread. There is a bath in the bedroom. Aline, yours is the attic, but it's nice. Yeah, it's a little chillier than everybody else's.
It's okay. I know how to dress for cold weather.
But she did set up. There is a area like there's a it's a thin wall, but at the back of the attic there is a thin wall with a closet area that could be set up for a dark room. Should you want to develop your own film?
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
It's like I'm not sure of the bath situation. I'm not sure if you let Razz use it, Mabel, because he said he is very sweaty.
That might be to your benefit
'cause
to let him do it.
he's dirty. That's right. Yeah, he can go ahead and use the bath.
Thank you so much. Razz is going to go to Miss McIntyre's room and set up a desk phone for her to use to contact her father if need be. Part of the job.
This establishment is wired, so there is electricity, and there also is a port for telephone wire, especially this room. So you all get ready for bed, and you all settle in. It's been a day of travel. I don't know about your characters, but for me, when I'm traveling, I get especially exhausted. So you guys had to probably get up early and get from Boston to Albany, and then Albany to Whimseybrook, and that's a 4.5-hour drive. So you've probably been traveling all day, and it was probably an early morning. So you probably all fall asleep fairly quickly. The night is serene. You see the snowflakes falling outside, barely moonlit. It is a waning crescent. It's very small. So there's not much natural light outside. Slowly, the lights tick off outside, the torches and the electric lights, and then it's just a serene, sleepy town. Melody. You have a dream. So you slip into a deep slumber. Normally, your dreams are a place of sanctuary for you. It's a place where you embrace the astral and explore other realities yet unfound, or your dreams are a place of conveyance where you have deep discussions with your spirit guide. He is never so clear as he is in your dreams. But in this slumber, you find yourself wandering through a labyrinth of twisting streets, shrouded in mist and darkness. You recognize it as the streets of Whimseybrook, because you could see there are discarded festival decorations. They're just aged beyond what you would imagine would be one day. It almost seems hundreds of years that these things have been discarded and laying here. And then you hear in the distance, interspersed with this shadow and whispers, you start to hear a tune. You start to hear, it starts building. It's mournful. It's a mournful melody. It just reverberates and haunts your every step. The refrain is both beautiful and frightening. That frightens you because there's these discordant notes that that felt like that bing that you felt before. It's these discordant notes that hit a place within your soul that make you feel as if your bones are vibrating. But you continue to wander the streets for what seems simultaneously as if minutes and days. This ahead, but eventually ahead, you see a light and a town square materializes in front of you. You step into it and you see 4 full-length mirrors just standing in the center of the town square, where what you recognize as earlier where the bonfire was, but isn't there currently. You approach the first mirror, and a figure becomes clear. It's Aline, the photographer, the French-Canadian photographer you met. You feel as if her camera will catch the on-scene. Then in the second mirror, you see Mabel. She, with her smartly dressed attire and her case files, you feel as if her files are a key. Then you go to the third mirror, and it's Yasher. His sullen, sunken, tired face, looking back at you, but you see a glow from his bag. There's something there, and you know it's needed. Then, in the fourth mirror, you see Razz, an average-looking man from Middle America, but there's like this air of danger surrounding him, and you hear a voice from a distance, and you recognize it, but it's so far and it's so hard to hear it through. It's Uncle Ed. He urges you to seek allies in those shown in the mirrors. But the words start to get overcome with this tune that just starts blaring, and as it crescendos, the mirrors shatter. And you are engulfed in these shards and mist that has been encroaching from the outside of the town square. You now recognize that it has been closer and closer, and there's a darkness in this mist that as you look into it and it engulfs you, it's almost as if you're looking into a chasm. You feel as if you will fall for a lifetime. With a final jarring note, the connection to your guide is severed, and it almost hurts you. You awaken, gasping for air, your heart pounding with lingering dread. Next to you, asleep, is Mabel. She is still slumbering, having pleasant dreams, but you are left with an uneasy feeling, and an ominous presence is waiting for you at the festival.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit's Endless Equinox. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you use. It's easy, free, and helps others learn about the show. Follow us for info, updates, and extra clips on our socials. We're on pretty much everything at Respect the Crit, or come be a part of our amazing community in our Discord. Mabel McIntyre is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find at Jamie MF Bones. Aline Lévesque is played by Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes, who you can find at Xavier TD. Melody Thompson is played by Karen Huesman, who you can find at Not So Shy Ronnie. Razz McClay is played by Zach Clark. Yasher Angle is played by me, your host, Ian Duncan, and you can find me at iDunks. Our keeper of arcane lore is Susan Spenader, who you can find at Suze Laluz. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. The Call of Cthulhu 7th edition role-playing game is published by Chaosium Inc. And remember, whatever the system, miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and Cthulhu Fatagan.
So the glowing watches, I had missed what you had said about it, though. I'm sorry.
Oh, you just probably have one. So back in the 20s, radium watches were a big thing. I think it was the 20s, but it was they were radioactive, and the radon girls who made them, they would lick the tips of them, and then they eventually all died of cancer because they were ingesting radioactive materials. But they made your watch glow.
Oh, which is pretty cool.
So it was worth it. In the end, it was worth all those lines.